How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about CEI Camber Energy. It ended up seeing over 900 million in volume on the Friday, so I want to make sure you guys are prepared going into Monday. It did have a pullback on the day, but as far as momentum is concerned, I feel like there's still a little bit more left inside of this stock, and we're going to be talking about it. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support and we want to know resistance. I was telling you guys in my previous video when I was doing the technicals to look out for the level of $1.50 to hold up. It ended up testing $1.55 on the Friday. I was off by a little bit, but at least you're getting a good idea of how the price action works. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. Are shorts still heavily vested in this play? We already know it's been a rocky week for CEI, and we need to get an update on that. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares on Friday? The reason why this is important, because we know it has an impact on the stock price. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for CEI. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $1.71, being down 3.93%. On the low, it tested $1.55, and then on the high, testing $2.45. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you could see we traded at 967.741 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 638.996 million shares. So when we have above average volume on the day, you already know it can come down to two things. It's either we had a tremendous amount of selling pressure or we had a lot of buying pressure. And of course, we did have some selling pressure. We did have a strong run up that happened in the after hours on Thursday, and of course this continued into the pre-market, and as we got into the open, ended up experiencing a strong sell-off, but I'll talk about that further. So now when we take a look at the chart, we're using the 1 year daily chart. We can see from the RSI down below, it is right in the middle, like 49.58. This is called at 50. And then when we take a look at the moving averages, you can see we have strength above the 100-day, the 200-day, the 50-day, but we are below the 21-day EMA. If you guys remember the last video, I was saying, hey, you want to see some strong support at the $1.50 level. On the Friday, we ended up testing $1.55. So one thing we can clearly see, $1.50 held up very well. And when we take a look at where the high was, like I said, it was a strong sell-off in the morning. It reached $2.45. So keep an eye on this level for this week, because if we can get past it, then the next level you're going to want to see some strength is here above 250. And if we get past 250, then we can look forward to seeing a nice clean run going to around 271 and then seeing where we go from there. As far as taking into consideration where we tested at $1.55 and closing at $1.71, from $1.71, I would love to see a push going to $2 or reclaiming the 21-day EMA at $1.96. Do keep in mind, this is a psychological area, $2. So there's going to be some profit taking. There's going to be some traders that'll be inside of this play looking to make some cash. So what you want to look for is the volume as far as getting close to even a billion. A billion would be nice, but at the same time, it looks like when we get at least over 900 or even above the average around 638, maybe about 700 and up, we could look forward to seeing some appreciation in the stock. So we want to look out for that $2 level. Make sure we get some volume and some momentum above that so we can really start pushing this price up and then start grabbing more attention from traders showing up on lists and so on, and also just getting this stock to go where we need it to go, getting past this 250 level. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for CEI. So we can see here the dark pool short volume ratio being at 55.15, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 285 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 8.6 million, updated 13 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow free rate, it is at 12.78%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 7th, it was at 57.23, and then the close for Friday that just passed being at 55.15. So one thing that we can clearly see, CEI does continue to have short squeeze potential. This is why I say to keep this play on your radar. And if you are holding a position, just know that there's going to be a lot of volatility and a lot of risk ahead. But of course, if you've been in it long enough, you're not even new to this. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for CEI. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 325, and then on the outflow, it was 321. On the large, we had 22.99, and then on the medium, we had 228, and then on the small, we had 74.59. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 25.34. On the medium, we had 225, and then on the small, we had 70.28. So one thing that we can clearly see right away, there was a lot of purchasing on the retail side when we take a look at the small scale orders, and a lot of buying happening on the medium size as well. One thing also that we want to take a look at the fact is there was a lot more profit taking on the large scale orders. So a lot of institutions were selling out, but at the same time, we had a lot of inflows coming in, so there was a lot of purchasing. When we take a look at the large-scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for October the 8th, we have the outflow of 2.35 because it's taking in the fact that there were more large-scale orders coming out than there was coming in. So with all of that said, do keep an eye on this play. Due to the fact that it did see just over 900 million in volume, if we see a continuation of that, we could see the stock make some stronger moves. It did have a strong sell-off going into the open on the Friday due to the fact of what was happening in the after hours on Thursday, and as well as in the pre-market in the Friday morning. So this is something you want to keep an eye on and pay attention to that volume, especially during the pre-market. I don't take positions during the pre-market, but it's still a good indication to say, hey, what things can look like going into the open. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for CEI, I'm going to continue to keep this play on the radar. We saw on the Friday the level of support that it tested was around $1.55, and I said in a previous video it would be around $1.50. So what we want to see going into Monday is it continuing to hold up that $1.50 area of support, or $1.55. It did close at $1.71. So again, if we have momentum inside of the pre-market, I'm looking forward to seeing a big move. If we don't get that big move, then going into the open is where I want to see us make that move to the $2 range. I was saying this will be an area of resistance. This will be a psychological area. There will be a lot of people who are going to be profit taking and just selling in general. So this is why it is very key we have a lot of buying volume coming through the stock, and why I was saying you want to make sure you're getting above average volume. It can help with the buying pressure. And then when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, shorts are heavily vested in this play, and they've increased their positions. This is why CEI continues to have that short squeeze potential, and this is why I say buying pressure is essential. I know I sound like I'm a broken record there, but I just want you to be aware of that before you actually push the buy button and jump into this play. You want to have a strategy. You want to have a game plan. This is the type of play, I know I've said this before as well, you can't just buy the stock and then forget about it, all right? It doesn't work that way. And on top of that, you want to make sure you're maximizing your entry, especially if you're just looking for short-term profits. And if you are holding, then like I say, do your homework, do your due diligence. This is very key when it comes to plays like these. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.